Welcome to Better Together, the podcast. I'm Kristie.
And I'm Paige. We're here to get real, raw, and vulnerable about topics like holistic health, emotional well-being, parenting, and entrepreneurship.
We're not your average small-town girls. Join us on this adventure as we tear down the walls of insecurity and self-doubt so we can rewrite what it means to live an authentic life.
This podcast is built on 20 years of friendship. And when we tell you we've been through it all together, I promise you it's true. From motherhood, grief, marriage, divorce, ×2, starting our businesses, and everything in between. We're here to share our stories so that you know you're never traveling this journey alone.
So buckle up, get ready, and join us because no matter what this life brings, we're always
better together.
Hi guys, it's Kristie, and you might be noticing Paige is not with me. And the truth is, she broke up with me. No, I'm just kidding. So we decided that we were going to do just like a short little video, short little podcast individually, and she's going to talk about astrology. I'm going to talk about Empower Her, the mastermind, to replace the fact that summer has been crazy and we only did one episode in June and only one episode in July. So we're just going to come to you in just like little small burst until we get back to regular programming in August. So to be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm going to talk to you about today. I have not prepared. I was like, I got a little bit of time. Looking at my imaginary watch, I got a little bit of time. Let's film this, let's record this, and get it out to you. So we're just gonna wing it. But something that I was thinking about this morning on my drive to the office is how fucked up our beauty standards are, how screwed up it is that so here's what happened. I read this statistic the other day because sometimes I read too much, that 90% of women want to change their body, feel uncomfortable in their body, and they resort to restriction, they resort to diets and these other things to change their bodies so that they can try to obtain this ideal American perception of the ideal women's body. 91% of women. Like, what is that? 9 out of 10? That is insane, and it has been pissing me off for days, especially because I have daughters, I have nieces, it blows my mind. And I was part of that statistic. I hated my body for so long, for decades. Like growing up, I had a really hard time because it was just this joke that I didn't have boobs, like that my boobs were small. Like, even my poor my poor mom, love her to death, but she was even like, I'm so sorry that you got this from me. And she was, attempting to be supportive and attempting to make me feel, comfortable. But it's always been this thing that I have small boobs. And of course, in school, that was picked on by boys, and it was just something that I remember always being insecure about. And then that I didn't have any curves, that my body was straight. It was too bony, short, like short legs, long torso, just so many little things that I just felt so insecure about. Like I would stand in front of the mirror and just destroy my body, just tear it down. And it makes me so emotional and like bringing tears to my eyes to think about the like terrible things that I would say to my body. I was that statistic. And then I did change my body. I got a boob job back in 2013. And I know what you're thinking. Did you get them taken out? Did you put them in the wrong place? And the answer is no and no. I can like laugh about this very healthy now. There's no shame in this. But in 2013, got a boob job. And I remember being so excited. Like, I am finally going to cure my lifelong body insecurity. I'm finally going to feel good about myself. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to like flaunt that swimsuit and feel so good in my body. And yeah, I was wrong. It actually made me more insecure. I still compared myself to other women. I still felt so insecure in my body. It was like, okay, now I have boobs, a little bit more boobs than what I had before, but I still hated my body. For so long, I was tearing it down. And so, going back to this statistic of women who want to change their body and the ideal like American body that this statistic was talking about is maybe 5% of women naturally have. And I am not in that 5%. I do not have curves. I am not tall enough. I am not so many things. And it's just so sad that we put such this emphasis on a certain body type that 91%, that most women, I don't even know the math at this point, that most women cannot obtain. So 95% of women cannot obtain this body type because they are not meant to, because it would not be healthy for them. The weight that you are is likely the healthiest weight for you. The way that your body is was made to be that way. Like, I would love for all of us to just say, fuck that ideal body. If we don't have it, I'm not going to shame the women that are in that 5%. We're not going to shame them. Like, that's, that's their body type. But we don't need to shame our body types either. We don't need to shame, because here's the thing that makes me want to cry. When we shame our body types individually, when we're looking in the mirror and we're tearing ourselves down, when we're like, oh, I wish my arms, didn't look this way. I wish I could fix my stomach. I wish I could fix my boobs, my hair, my nose, whatever. You're also saying that to children. You're also saying that to your girls, to your nieces, because they have those things as well. They have your nose, they have your lips, they have your body type or a body type similar. They will hear these things, and maybe you're not standing in front of the mirror and saying it out loud, but I am sure there are little things that you're doing when you put on a certain shirt, when put on your pants. Like, there are cues that you probably are saying that you're not noticing. And this, my husband actually pointed this out to me early, not early on. Yeah, probably early on. But I remember when I started to finally hear it, because something for that I used to do, this is like off the topic of body types, but I used to always just like say, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb. And I remember him telling me, like, stop saying that to yourself. Like, the girls are going to hear you say that. And it was kind of a little harsh at the time, I felt like. But I like still remember that day and that moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. So yeah, maybe consciously I don't remember standing in front of the mirror and saying these things out loud when the girls were around. But I put on like a certain outfit and like, oh, I don't look good in this. Like, my boobs don't look good in this, and I'm big enough boobs to fill this out. Like, those are messages that they're going to hear. And I'm not saying that we need to filter ourselves, but what I'm saying is start building an empowering self-belief. If I could change one thing in this world, it would be for women to change their perceptions of their body, for society to change the perception of the body. And the thing is, we can start that in our own homes, but we have to start that with ourselves. I have a lot of women that come to me and they want me to like work with their teenage daughter, or to, I've had a lot of people ask me about creating things for teenagers. And that is in the works in my mind. I do want to do that because I want to give teenage girls some tools that I didn't have. But the number one thing that we can do for our kids, boys and girls. The reason that I say daughters is because that's what I have. So I'm not a boy mom, and so I can't necessarily relate, but everybody has insecurities, right? So the one thing that we could do to help our kids with their self-esteem and their insecurities is to become a model. Like, start giving yourself compliments. Start saying, like, yeah, I'm good at this. I do a good job when I do this. It doesn't even have to be specifically about your body. But if you could start empowering yourself in little ways, they're going to catch on to that. Like, mom, this dinner is really good. Yeah, I know, I rocked it. Like, you don't have to say, oh, I just looked it up on Pinterest. Oh, it's easy. Like, yeah, I think so too. Something that Paige and I actually started, we've probably talked about this, is when we give each other a compliment, and we've extended this to our kids, and like I have with my clients even, like when somebody gives you a compliment, like say thank you, I know, or thank you, it's true, like something to that effect. And it really can be a change, like changer for you. It really truly can. It's so empowering. And at first it's super uncomfortable, but then it's going to become a habit. So if you want to be this model for your kids, like start showering yourself with compliments. I really like my hair today. I did this today. Like, tell them about something that you did that you're like, I crushed it. I got us ready. I got us breakfast, lunches packed, out the door, and we were only 1 minute late. I am rocking it. I am killing it. Like, say those things to yourself, and then let's take it back to the body. The reason that I do what I do, the reason that I created Empower Her, the mastermind, is for women to create a healthier relationship with their body, because that is the most important relationship you're ever going to have, because it will affect the other relationships you have. It will affect your relationships with your kids. It will affect the relationships you have with your significant others, with your friends. The way that you feel about yourself will, I promise you, affect your other relationships. And I am like again, I got a prime example of this. When I was insecure, when the whole boob thing, I didn't, because I was insecure in myself, I didn't trust my husband. Those things correlated, and it affected our relationship. If there was a woman on TV that ignited that insecurity in me, I would be like accusatory. Or if there was a woman, like a waitress even, that like had these like beautiful boobs that I desired, I would like watch him and like be ready to accuse him. It affected our relationship. My insecurities affected our relationship. Your insecurities, the way that you feel about your body, whether you're telling yourself that or not, if like you can really get honest with yourself here, it is probably affecting your relationships with other people. And so back to the story, because I got distracted. I don't think I like full circled the boob job thing. I like really thought that was my answer. I really did. I was so, so excited. But it wasn't, like I said. And so what changed for me is doing the things that we're doing inside Empower Her, the mastermind. I had to first heal my body image. I had to first change my relationship with myself. I had to first change my entire belief system of who I was, of what made me worthy, in order to feel secure, confident, comfortable, empowered in my body. And I do. And I feel so proud of that. I feel proud that I feel good in my body. And like from that boob job that was over 10 years ago, like it is not what it was. Like I have had a child since then. And it doesn't matter. I don't regret it. I really don't have like regrets. But I never felt confident and secure in myself until I had to do the healing work, until I healed that body image. And I got really, really deep in that healing work. And I worked on my perspective of myself. And again, what made me worthy? What made me pretty? What made me good enough? And I had to, for me, in the confidence journey and being confident in myself, I had to decide to like choose myself. Like I have my own back. Like I would choose me. Like I think I'm great. Like that mentality I had to build, which it is what we're doing inside the Empower Her mastermind. There's a whole module on empowered mentality. And this is for those women who are so insecure in the way that I was. You're insecure in your body. You're insecure in the way that you think and the way that you learn. You're insecure in who you are. You feel like you just keep hiding. You feel like um, you're playing small. You're not putting yourself out there. It's for those women who just are insecure in their body, insecure in what they do. They second guess every choice that they make, right? When we're insecure, we like don't trust ourselves, but you crave something different. You know that if you felt more confident in yourself, if you raised your worth, if you worked on your relationship with yourself, there's something else you could do with your life. Maybe you would start that passion project you've been thinking about, you've been dreaming about. Maybe you would have a better marriage. Maybe you would leave a relationship. There's just so many things that can happen when we first make ourselves a priority. And I think that's part of my desire for women is we are very naturally the caretakers, the nurturers. We tend to put other people before ourselves. We tend to put other people on a pedestal. And I want you to put yourself on a pedestal. I want you to have such high beliefs that you're on that pedestal and you're thinking good thoughts about yourself naturally. You're feeling good in the clothes that you put on. You're not second guessing the choices that you make. You're not second guessing your outfit. You're just showing up in life being who you were meant to be. And let me tell you, when your kids see you showing up that way, when your nieces see you showing up that way, when your friends see you showing up that way, when your significant other sees you showing up that way, it is going to create a ripple effect. It's going to help people up level themselves and challenge themselves to get that kind of confidence, to get that kind of empowerment. It's this unapologetic self love and empowerment that I want for every single woman. Because when we live that way, when we live in this life unapologetically ourselves, like what better gift is that? Like, what else should we do? Like, why should we not be that? Right? Like, that's the whole purpose. We were created uniquely the way that we are for a reason, and it is to be ourselves, our full selves. And so much of that starts with how we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. And that's what we're doing inside Empower Her. We are helping you create such unwavering self belief. I want you to have such high self belief that you become your own hype girl, that you are clapping the loudest for yourself, that you are raising your beliefs so high that your standards raise. So you're going to start attracting different types of people in your life. You're going to start attracting different things in your life. We are tapping into that empowerment for you to, we're tapping into your power, the power that you already have within you. That's the thing. Is what you'll learn inside is that you have this power within you of like you're already that empowered version of you already exists. We just gotta like dig her out a little bit. She's just a little covered up by some like social conditioning, by this BS, like this American standard of the perception of the ideal woman's body. Your empowered identity, your empowered version, she is within you. You have a natural power within you. We're just digging it out. We're doing the work. We're teaching you the skills inside this mastermind where you learn how freaking powerful you are, where you heal your body image, where you completely change your relationship with who you are, with your body. It will change how you show up in this world. And then you can be in that unapologetic self love and empowerment, living in your confident, empowered energy and being the woman who like commands the room. That's something that for me in my insecurity like journey, I remember walking with my head down. And it started in high school. Again, I think I've talked about this on the podcast. But I was just so insecure in myself that I would look down. Like I couldn't even look at people. I literally made myself smaller to now like working on all these things where I have changed that relationship with myself, where I like myself. Even when I make a mistake, even when I forget something, I still think I'm great. I still think I'm great. I am now the woman who walks in with her chin up and I'm commanding rooms because of it. I can command a room when I want to. As an introvert, I don't always want to. and that's like my decision to make. But so many of my clients are experiencing this confident energy boost that's not circumstantial. That's the thing. Inside Empower Her, we're creating such empowered identities where that confidence and that self-worth, it doesn't become like it's not circumstantial. This is a lifelong thing. You're going to completely rewrite your relationship to yourself. It's not going to be a short change. This is a lifetime change. And that's again why I love this so much. And I've changed this up a little bit. I was going to do like this small container, and I decided I had to really take a step back and decide like what I wanted for my business, what I wanted for my clients, what would serve my people best. And Empower Her Mastermind is now just like open ended. It's going to be an open enrollment. You can come whenever you decide to come. I'm not going to like close the card or like have this like launch. It just doesn't work for my nervous system, guys. I just am more flowy. So it's going to, my stomach's growling. I hope that doesn't pick up. But Empower Her Mastermind, it's going to be open ended. So you can literally join whenever. And while you're like, you'll get access to it for 4 months. And while you're there, you're going to get all these modules of your empowered foundation. So we're going to help you build your empowered foundation. And this is like my health background of what I used to call the cornerstone healthy living, of how we can nourish our mind, body, and soul so that we can set ourselves up to feeling our best. This is like this foundational piece, this basics is so, guys, it's so good. And then the empowered you. This is where we're really creating that empowered identity. We're helping you see and tap into that power that you already have within you. Like you are the power, you are the solution. You're going to see that. The empowered body. This is healing your body image. This is taking back the power in your body. You're becoming the author of your story. The empowered mentality. This is changing the way that you think, which changes the way that you feel in your body. This is where we're really looking at that self-talk. You are going to learn how to speak beautifully to yourself and how to shift into more empowering thoughts very naturally. Like we are writing you a new belief system. And this is so big, guys. And I'm making this a little long, so I'm gonna like try and wrap this up. But creating your empowered belief system, and this is like you can do some of these things even without being inside Empower Her Mastermind. Send me a message, I will help you. Building a belief system for yourself that like you're able to have these thoughts just shift super quickly. Like even though I've done all this work and I feel really good in who I am, I feel confident, I show up confident, like my energy exudes, there are times where I still feel uncomfortable in my body. Like sometimes I have those thoughts, they come in. But what I have done is I'm able to shift super quickly into a more empowering truth, a more empowering thought. Like, yeah, I am bloated because I'm on my period. Like, that's cool, whatever. Who cares if I'm bloated? What's the big deal? Having that ability to do that is really, really important. And it helps so much to prevent like that spiral effect. So the empowered mentality module is probably my favorite. I don't know. I feel like they're all my favorite. Actually, the empowered soul is really, really good too. That's when we're like tapping into your intuition. We're getting to that inner knowing because an empowered woman who trusts her gut, she trusts her intuition. That girl, she creates the life she's dreaming about. Like I talk like on social media about creating your Pinterest dream life. You know, like look at your pin. Like I want you look at your Pinterest, all the boards that you're pinning, like all the little pins that you're pinning, whatever. You can create that life. And I promise you, the empowered woman who's got good thoughts, she trusts her intuition, she is creating the life that she dreams of. She's not playing small, she's not hiding. She is up leveling herself, not just in the way that she feels about her body, but in what she goes after. She's not settling anymore for the small town mentality of like, I can't create an online business. She's going after it. She's launching that Etsy shop that she's been thinking about since Etsy became a thing. Like I have clients doing that. I have clients who are becoming interior designers stay-at-home moms who are becoming interior designers, stay-at-home moms who are creating Etsy shops, women in retirement doubling their art sales. Like big things can happen for you when you have self-belief and self-trust. When you tap into that empowered identity, you trust your intuition, and you have such a beautiful relationship with your body. So I'm going to wrap it up here. And I just want to say I would love to see you inside Empower Her, the Mastermind. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Find me on Instagram, A Strong Soul Wellness, and ask me any questions. Come follow me, come say hi, all the beautiful things. But if you can take anything away from this, I want you to take away the importance of your relationship to your body and the way that you speak to your body, and how the way that you show up, the way that you're speaking, it will create a ripple effect. And so, what is the ripple effect that you want to create? What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to feel in your body? That's something that I ask a lot of my clients to like journal on and set with. Like, what kind of relationship do you want to have with your body? It's the most important relationship. So how do you want that to look? How do you want that to feel? And I think if we start paying attention to those things, we will start to live differently. And then maybe real slowly, we can change this ideal, the perception of the ideal women's body. I keep saying that wrong. Like, it just takes like small baby steps. It takes enough of us to change that standard. And I think it'd be incredible. So that's the Empower Her movement, is changing the perception of the women's ideal body type. Because I think the ideal women's body type is whatever body type you are. It's you being comfortable in who you are. It's you owning who you are. It's you loving who you are, showering yourself with love, gratitude, and appreciation. That's the ideal body type. So come join us and Empower Her, the Mastermind. It would make me so happy because I would love to coach you and share with you this beautiful mastermind that I've created. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon.
Thanks for listening to Better Together, the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to catch episodes the first and third Friday of every month. Don't forget to hop on Instagram and follow us at bettertogether.kp. See you next time.